I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. Are you? How are you? You're good.
Yeah.
Are you a Muslim? No.
Yeah.
You're a Muslim. Are you true?
Yeah.
Okay. I like to talk to a Muslim. I'm looking for Muslim friends because Muslims are basically more friendly and also religious.
Yeah.
So I'm also religious, but I follow Isa. You follow Muhammad, right? Which is okay. Are you busy something?
No.
You're rushing?
It's okay.
Oh, it's okay to talk for a while?
Yeah.
Okay. May I give you this leaflet for you, free for you to read?
No.
It will be interesting to discover from the different sources about alternative belief system, right? I don't know if you are looking for truth, then it will be something serious because I'm serious about truth because there will be eternal destiny for us when we die. We will go to our place, make sure that we are now heading towards the right direction. So I don't want to be presumptuous. I don't know about you. Maybe you're going from a Muslim background, a Muslim family, right?
Yeah.
So this why, but if you are concerned about the eternal destiny, then it is a good process for you to start looking for truth while you're still young. Am I right? So I searched for, I didn't search for it, but I found the truth when I was young. I found Christianity to be very effective to me to change my life entirety, to change from a different person to be a better person. Now I have discovered that Islamic faith or the Muslim are very devoted in their religion. They're practicing, prostrating everywhere. Yeah, am I right? So they're serious. And then also I discovered that Islam also claims the only way, the absolute way going to heaven. Christianity also claims the absolute way going to heaven. Both of them claim absolutely. They cannot be both correct. It must be one wrong, one correct. Which one is correct? So this is my interest to find out, my curiosity to find out. I'm studying Islam, I'm studying the Muslim faith, but I talk to different Muslims and find it fascinating. The answers are very different. So, yeah. So have you studied about the Islamic faith?
I studied about Islam and Christianity and other things.
All right.
Like, I used to be an atheist when I was in high school.
Okay.
So
okay.
Later I thought, no, it makes sense what Islam says, and there are a lot of scholars who became devoted to religion. So the main fact in every religion you see there is a resemblance. So in Christianity you see what are the main purpose of talking about religion. So is to build a system so where people can live prosperously. So and also
What make you feel that
like
Christianity
it provides something like you see a rules and regulation that rule it means it gives you a sense of purpose in life.
Okay,
So,
guidance. How to live your life.
it's guidance.
All right.
So
Okay.
I don't usually like Christian and Muslim, whatever the religion is. I don't like criticize people or do these things because they are believing in Jesus and like the holy cup and other thing and the God, that Trinity theory, you know, of course. So my
Have you heard
my
about-
belief system is like
Okay.
it's like as long as you are following a religion, you are of course
Sincere.
we are Muslim. We have our trust. We have our base. It's not like I'm letting you hurt my base. And if you are gonna like stay in your zone and feeling relaxed, and if you are well and healthy following that religion, it's not like then I'm happy for you.
So you are moderate in the sense that the truth in the religion doesn't matter to you. The truth, ultimate truth
No,
of each
it
religion
matters.
doesn't matter.
It matters. But
But you would say that-
when you question like enough question why, the question why is really powerful. You know, it's really powerful.
Yeah.
When if someone question, what is the God? What is the existence of the God? You can't really physically prove it. You have to believe it.
Yes, that you are right.
Believe is a thing. Like even we study science, so science is a belief system. You need to know that because everything we do in science, you'll see like it's really approximate. We can't find the perfect solution of anything. So there is always belief in our like every proof, everything you see, like every calculation you do in mathematics and in science, everything, you'll have a like 99% or more accuracy, but you will have the perfect result. So
Rationally, I mean,
The rationality,
we need to
yeah.
use rational mind to question our belief system,
Yeah.
right? To be reliable. So, have you ever questioned about the reliability of the Quran, or even just the claim of the Quran of perfection?
on the reliability of Quran,
Mm.
yeah, of course, it's like you need to.
Do you agree? Do you agree on the saying
Of
that
course.
the Quran today is the same as Quran revealed in the Prophet Muhammad?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
Because like there are some evidence shows that like even for like 1,000 years ago, Quran and
40,000.
now Quran, 40,000 years Quran is the same as today's every word, single word. So, but
Word by word, letter by letter.
word by word. But Christian and the Bible,
Yeah.
it changed over time, and there is a lot of controversy.
Okay,
during
we
that.
leave the Bible aside and then we talk about a different belief system because
Yeah.
you have. It is not fair for you to use the Islamic system to evaluate the Christian.
No,
system.
I'm not
And it's also
evaluating. I'm not evaluating.
the reverse side is also true. Now, are using the Islamic slogan to evaluate the Islam yourself? For example, you said that the Quran is perfectly preserved. I would think that the Quran is well preserved. It's not perfectly preserved. It's not word for word, dot for dot.
Well, I feel like, it's not feel like. I mean, you have to look at the evidence too.
Yes.
You have to look at the evidence, what it does. So, over the centuries and over the thousands of years, is there any Quran that differs from today's Quran? If it does, you have to really,
Do you
really investigate the things like,
Right.
like
Have
what's
you
the difference.
have you evaluated the Quran from a non-Muslim background, non-Muslim perspective? What
I
they
told you,
discovered?
I was,
the critic discovered.
I told you I was an atheist when I was in
Okay.
in school.
Yeah,
high
I know.
school, so-
But yet when you are searching, you might find from the Islamic propaganda, from the Muslim scholars that to explain for you without checking the external different opinion about what
Yeah,
they're
of
saying.
course. You have to
So, for
take
example,
that.
I'll give you a test. For example, have you discovered that there's more than one Quran, one Arabic Quran today?
More than one Arabic Quran. I don't know about that. Truly, I don't know.
Okay. So that means
I
it
don't
shows
know.
that you haven't heard and now found the.
No, I don't
found
have
the
that information.
you have not looked into the external evidences or the objective way of looking at the Quran first. So
Okay.
because you have deep inside, you already dived inside the Islamic teaching
I
itself. That's why
feel like-
I mean it's nothing wrong to evaluate to know what it is. Just like me, I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm learning from the Islamic scholars and also both from the Islamic from the non-Islamic. So I will have a broader picture of opinion about what the Quran is. I also read the Quran
Yeah,
from
sure.
cover to cover,
Why not?
and also study Arabic today. So I want to know the Islamic teaching, which is very important. So that's why I have a broader picture. So that's why I want to help you evaluate because you say you come from an atheistic background with now religion, now you don't believe in Islam, right?
Yeah.
So I just want to challenge you to think: have you ever considered the reliability of the Islamic the source, the belief, the root, or the reliable source of your belief is the Quran, right? The Quran itself.
Yeah,
The
of
Quran
course.
itself is essential for your belief. You cannot let the Quran be differ even in a single dot. Like for example, you have to believe the Quran as dot with dot, letter with letter from the time of Muhammad until now, right?
Yeah,
No?
sure.
So the precision, I will challenge you to think otherwise. It is wrong. This is a lie.
Which one?
The proposition saying that the Quran is the same Quran today compared to the time of Muhammad is the same Quran.
Yeah.
That proposition, if you study the Islamic tradition from the beginning until now, you discover this is cannot establish this proposition.
Why is
I'm
that?
not questioning
Why
about
do
the
you-
reliability.
Why do you think that?
Why do I think that? Good question.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a
I
good
will let
question.
you- Good question. So I'll just let you know. You know, there's one major event in the past during the third caliphate. The Uthman Caliphate Uthman.
Yeah.
In his time, he realized that since Prophet Muhammad peace upon him, he has already passed away. So all the people went to war. That his people who has already memorized the Quran has died on the battle. So that's why people say that they need to write down. They write down and then compile into different forms or writing forms of different copies. So there's a collection begin to form that time. And then Uthman realized, somebody complained to him that because the empire become very big, right? So they compiled together, discovered that the variants different region with different copies. That's why Uthman formed a committee to ask them to unify all these different copies, make it into one. You remember the story? And then he burned the rest that is not consistent with his committee mentioned. So he wants a committee unified the one version and then burn the rest. And then he used that one version and then promulgate to the whole entire population. And then everybody use the same one version. So that's what happened during the time. So there's a question mark of the Quran, the copy that Uthman compiled, and there's one question. And then later on, the empire developed into 14,000 years, and after that you have different versions of the Arabic still existing now. So the Arabic Quran today is still having variants in their writing, because you cannot help, because you don't have the printing machine to print the identical copy. So it was handwritten. And then one issue also, the language developed through times, because the language that you use in the olden days, they've changed into different meanings. So they have to change the writing, change into the vernacular that everybody can understand. So there's a changes in the writing. So that Quran today that you have in handwriting, except for today you have printing machine. The printing machine, of course, you can have identical copy on the Arabic. But in the olden days, for 14,000 years, the language changes through the generation. So they have to correct the different olden languages, a vocabulary they couldn't understand now. So they change into a modern time. So this is, I mean, this is logical. You understand. You don't want to write something that people cannot catch it. You don't know what you are saying. So it's understood. So today, the Quran today that you have would be a language that you popularly accepted by all the general ummah. And then today you have.
But the content is the same.
Content is the same. The major message is the same. Only the tiny little detail, maybe some differences. Like for example, the numbers of some. The doctrine you still the same. You know, the minor differences. That's why I say that the proposition you mentioned that the dot with dot, letter with letter, is the same copy that you have compared to the time Muhammad said is not correct. It's not correct. So you have today, the message is well preserved. So the Quran today is still very reliable, I said. It would be the same message that Muhammad received, but it's not be identical. Cannot be identical. So
no, it cannot be identical, of course.
Cannot be identical. I mean, to the general public, you have to say identical to put their trust. But for you, an educated person, you cannot longer use the same say identical, right? You cannot use the same term that perfectly preserved.
Okay, so you were saying like the word I was using is like
the wrong word, wrong slogan,
yeah, okay.
The wrong slogan, and then the wrong. It would be deceptive to the people who hear from it, and then it can be very persuasive for me to hear from you that wow, so miraculous, preserved dot to dot what you word. Wow, what a miracle! So I believe. You know what happened when I believe? After that, when I study further, I discover this is a lie. I'll lose my faith. You know, I'll lose my faith. I said, the person said to me that it's perfectly preserved, but I discover right now it's not perfectly preserved because there are variants, different copies of the Arabic Quran. We have different wordings, and it come up with different doctrine. So that's why it is not reliable to say that the phrase about perfect preservation. We said that well preservation is true, well preserved. But do you know why you want to believe on that perfect preservation? You cannot change, you know.
I didn't get it. Can you explain
perfect preservation, comparing perfect preservation with well preservation, there will be a two different set of belief system.
Okay.
Perfect preservation means that the copy that you have today is identical, word to word, dot to dot. Well preservation means the message is still the same compared to the original, but the word for word, dot to dot is not true. But there can be variants. It can be variants with different copies.
It can be different from the original one, but the message is the same.
Message is the same. So you have to believe, and there will be a different belief and different scenario, different product, result out of that.
Okay.
But do you know why? But you cannot believe on the well preservation. You know, you cannot believe on the well preservation. You have to believe on the perfect preservation.
I get it.
You know, because I asked, I'm a Muslim. Muslim told me, I said, I'm curious to know why most Christians would believe on well preservation of the Bible. we don't believe on the perfect preservation of the Bible. But Muslims have to believe on the perfect preservation of the Quran. You cannot believe on the well preservation. But well preservation is much more logical, more easier for us to accept. But well preservation is a miracle. So it make the Quran very elevated into a very mystical belief system until the point of superstitious. Mystical until superstitious. But it's not practical when you talk about scientific today. You have rational thinking. So it's not true. This one it can be easily, the Bible can be poked and then it's just gone. So especially when you're intelligent college student. So I will believe on the well preservation. But however, the irony is that for Muslim you cannot believe on the well preservation, So because I asked yesterday, I asked one Muslim, he said, I just curious to know why you want to believe on the perfect preservation. Because he said to me, because we believe Allah is perfect. So what he gives to me must be perfect. It cannot be imperfect. I said, if that case, if I prove that the Quran is not perfect, then your faith crumble. He said, yes. So dangerous,
Yes.
If I say your Quran is not perfect, that means you crumble because you put the Quran like equivalent to Allah. The Quran is not perfect, then Allah is not perfect. For us, we don't look at that way. We don't look at the Bible. Bible is not perfect but well preserved. Even the Bible is not well preserved, but we still believe on the perfect God. God is still perfect. God still preserves the message. Does it make sense? What I share?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Yeah. So there's a dilemma there.
It's important.
The dilemma is there for the Muslim, for the belief system.
I mean, and I like the way you are thinking.
Okay.
So